episode Trey Deuce.
Diving.
He's not a man. There's nothing more to say.
Diving.
Yeah, welcome back to Diving for Glory, a podcast that looks at football as an obsession. I am your host, Pep Corciona, back from the international break, injury-free, unless you count the abuse that I put my liver through. Sir Solomon, what up?
Injury-free except for Dortmund's
Arse?
Oh my god.
Their bum? Little red bum over there?
I need to go to Allianz and get checked out.
Oh man, this week, dude, Tottenham changes history. Messi the God comes on as a sub, and the old lady smacks the Rossoneri around. Also a recap of EPL, La Liga, as well as European quarterfinal previews. And as always, the prestigious and egregious D4G awards section. Diving for Glory is now posting every Monday on iTunes and divingforglory.com, and now you can also find us on YouTube. Video D4G coming soon. Follow us on Twitter at Diving for Glory and Facebook as well. Follow it, hashtag it, like it, hit us, whatever's clever. All right, just the cup, jersey's tucked, boots laced, Diving for Glory, let's go. We are going to start in one of the North London derbies.
The North London Derby.
We got beef. Chelsea hosting Tottenham. Sir Solomon, tell us about it. Boom. Sorry to put it in your face like that.
Okay, you're gonna edit that. Anyways.
Chelsea, Tottenham.
Basically,
at the bridge.
I think this is West London against North London. Chelsea being the West London team, hosting them in Fulham part of town, and they hosted them quite well. Tottenham enjoyed their stay.
Yeah. Chelsea actually got the scoring open on this, though. Alvaro Morata broke a 7-game streak of no goals. They looked strong in first half.
Yeah, they were going back and forth, and Chelsea for a bit, especially for the first half of the first half, were really taking it to Tottenham. And like you said, Morata, he scores. He hasn't scored in 7 games. But when you look at a guy that scored after not having scored for 7 games, and he scored early, why does he finish the game with just 2 shots attempted?
He's
a bitch. Yeah,
you were wondering. Yeah, the crying guy. That's the guy, right? The crying game.
Like Alvaro.
Man, dude. Yeah. Interesting. So, with all that being said, our boy Dele Alli pulls it back. Yes.
It's like the story of our boy Dele Alli pulls it ahead later.
Pulls it ahead.
Eriksen actually came to ball, and a little before his actual score, he took a one-step shot where he juked the defender and the midfielder, and from outside the box, he just took one step and shot it, and even though it was straight at him, substitute, this must be noted, Courtois did not play, substitute Willy Caballero had to catch it off the bounce. That's how strong his shot was, and a few minutes later, he basically went and dunked it on him. He went over dude under the crossbar, it was pure.
The announcers of the game seemed intent on saying that Courtois would have saved that there's they felt like Caballero did a poor job on that goal.
There's something to be said about Caballero's positioning to get caught on that goal, but after the shot has happened, I don't think that if Courtois was standing where he was standing, he would have made it back in miraculous time and saved it. But the question I have is, does Eriksen take that shot if it's Courtois? Because it looked like he was kind of going after that shot.
That is like you said, though, man, like earlier, that is the shot Eriksen takes. He always is trying to pepper you from the outside and has real.
That is true.
Can get a lot of movement on his shots.
That is true, but when you look at Tottenham, they took 12 shots, hit 6 But Chelsea's story was that they're fucking wasteful as shit in the first half, and that as soon as the tying goal gets scored, they basically packed it in.
4 shots on goal in the first half and none in the second.
Yeah, 14 total shots. Most of them were in the first half, and it was. I mean, the possession was about even. They had 48.7%, but Chelsea's you're the home team. Like, how's Tottenham coming in there and like?
Yep.
If you look at
as they coming in the bridge,
Chelsea, like when you're Chelsea, you're at home and you get 10 key passes, and you have only 1 goal to show for it and a 3-1 loss. Like, you should feel bad for yourself. And
so what do you attribute it to? I mean, are they just like score wise they played decent? Like, even performance wise, I'd say
it wasn't a bad performance. Like, on its own, it's not a bad performance. I think that the better team just won, and that's what it was. Like,
it 3-1 strikes you as like, oh, that's a dominating game. And I don't feel like Tottenham dominated, but I felt like they definitely deserved.
No, the Dele Alli double happened in like the space of 6 minutes. It was like 4 minutes, 62nd and 66th minute.
Yeah.
But you just see when you see Chelsea, forget the tactics and all that. Like, Hazard does his thing, but they're not going for it like the way they used to, you know? Like, they just go through the motions. When you score on them, they're not too down. They're not trying to get back. Like, it's just...
Assuming they go ahead and miss Champions League, this will be...
They will miss the Champions League.
Assuming. So, yeah, and I agree. But
this puts them 8 points back.
8 points back. But my question is, like, so this is, especially with this Hazard, this core kind of Hazard, Fabregas, Willian or whatnot, like, you look at them, and 2 times in the past 4 years, they won the title and come back and miss Europe the next year. We're pretty essentially the same. I mean, does that strike to the character of the team? Does that of the actual players, or does that say something more about this organization of the organization or dysfunction of the organization?
First off, it says a lot about the organization and
I mean, they just
how
cycle through
the
coaches.
front office and the managers that the front office are hiring don't seem to be on the same page, and it seems like there's a constant power struggle to be in Abramovich's ear. Like, and the guy,
This has been this way for 15 years now.
yeah, and he doesn't care. He won't change because winning a title every other season is
you're
fucking
good
awesome.
with that. Yeah, you take 2 titles in the.
You know, and being in contention, but. Like, if Conte was complaining about funds available, like, they're not going to be in the Champions League next year.
Yeah.
Like,
So-
they're going to be playing with even less funds. Like, these are,
But at that point, do you think that Abramovich goes out and actually spends the money that he hasn't been necessarily spending? Fuck, they've been.
I think
they've been
issue with
they've been netting
Abramovich.
profit. They've been netting
I mean,
profit
they
off
have
their
been netting
sales.
profit, but I don't think it's a lack of buying as much as they buy whoever they want and just give it, like, back in the day, which Real Madrid can do this, but this was a problem that a lot of their coaches had, including Del Bosque when Zidane and them are playing, is that the front office and the moves they make don't match what the coach requires and what you need on the field. And this is the issue that, like, the coaches are having. Like, Antonio Conte, like, Vialli just gave an interview last week, his ex-teammate from Juventus, saying how Antonio Conte can't wait to get the fuck out of there because he's irritated to no end by the fact that they don't consult him at all about their purchases.
At all. It's the coach, dude. Fuck.
The guy that is going to use what you're buying.
Wow.
You don't, like, just from that perspective, like, simplistically speaking, like, don't get him the guy he wants maybe, but, like, listen to the descriptions and stuff and get him something along those lines. They just buy players based on whether they think they'll get value out of that player.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Eventually, yeah, it sure seems like it. On the other side of the football, job well done on all fronts, really. This is Pochettino winning away against the top 6 team. This is them in a straight top 4 battle, beating a direct rival for that spot. Like, this is about as good as they could have hoped for. And they played well. Dyer played well. Vertonghen played well.
Yeah.
Eriksen, Ali, Son.
A lot of storylines actually for Tottenham once we get over the fact that Chelsea is shit is, first off, They haven't won at Stamford Bridge since 1990.
Were they even playing at Stamford as the first time, or?
Yeah, Stamford Bridge is either way away at Chelsea,
Away
but
at
like
Chelsea,
that's the stadium that Chelsea has been using
30
for
fucking years.
Yeah.
They haven't beat them.
So to do that, and to do that with your best striker, your best player, not playing until after the 3-1, your best defender not playing, arguably your best defensive midfielder not playing, Lucas didn't play, Aurier didn't play, Rose didn't play, and they came and they fucking stomped on these cats, yo.
Yeah. That kind of shows you how deep Tottenham is when they're healthy too.
Or like what Chelsea's character is, because they just kind of got swept aside. Like, I think that Tottenham played good and they won, but like they didn't get tested the way they needed to. Like Chelsea did their thing, they got the ball to Hazard. Dude, you can't play that ISO ball no more, man.
We just expect Hazard to go buck wild. Quick question before we move on. Another point that one of my buddies brought up, and I've noticed it the past few games of Conte, he's not making subs. He's making them like 80th minute.
Which is funny when you consider that he's complaining about squad size. You gotta take guys out. You gotta move them, especially if you're giving interviews about them being tired.
Yeah, I just noticed it because in my estimation, I didn't feel like Cesc. I just don't like him in the role that they had him in.
The Cesc and Kante center is proven time and time again that it doesn't work.
In a two-man midfield, like in front of the back three or whatever, like.
Yeah, and the back three, I like them. I like Rudiger, Christensen. But if you add anything more to it, they break. Like they're at full stretch to survive. Like that back three with Alonso and Moses going up a lot, and for Cesc and Kante, Cesc kind of feels like he holds Kante back, and for that system to not work exposes, this makeshift defense that you have to be what it is. Now all of a sudden Alonso looks plain, Moses looks plain.
Yeah. Man of the match. Well, hold on. Let's recap real quick. This leaves, just so everybody knows, Chelsea is now 5th place. They are 8 points back of Tottenham for 4th place. Tottenham gripping European qualifications, so it seems. That's huge. Huge game. Man of the match. Obvious.
Yes. Dele Alli.
Yeah.
Doubly scored.
First goal was sweet. Again, I felt like, and I agree with the announcers on this one, poor positioning by Caballero. Like, he should have definitely been up on that, but
most goals have, you could have done better.
It's a mistake,
but
it's going to be a mistake. That's how goals happen a lot of times.
Exactly. But the presence of mind, an interesting thing I read. Remember the 2016 game that lost Tottenham the title? The 2-0 game that they lost their mind and ended up 2-2?
Yep.
10 of those players played in this game.
Really?
So they really slew the beast. This is the last hurdle. They beat Manchester United during David Moyes' time. Like, they've been knocking out these big myths of what they can do, and this was the last big hurdle. I think it might be a big monkey if they were back.
Yeah, no doubt. Moving along, we will take it on over to Spain as Sevilla hosted first place Barcelona, and this was a fascinating, interesting, fun game. A deuce draw, man. Tell us about it.
The game as a whole was not actually that fun because Barca looks very plain when Messi's not playing. And everybody talks about Messi dependence. Like, you can't help but be Messi dependent. That is, but like now all of a sudden they have Messi and Busquets out. The structure, the spine of that team. Like, if you look at like when Messi comes out in the 55th minute, Sevilla immediately pull everybody back. Like, just the respect he garners. Like they were, first half, they were attacking with like 4, 5, 6 guys sometimes, moving the ball around. The second goal, if you saw it, like, they fucking opened them up.
Yep. They were in there, they were in the backfield, something nasty on them.
Dude, when you have Paulinho and you have Coutinho, one of them is just getting acclimated to the system. The other guy is just not good enough. And then you have Dembele, who's also just new. He played against the Sevilla team that looked pretty, like they move like a team.
Yeah.
Bad defensive team, but they work like a team. It's hard to keep up.
Barcelona kind of looked like literally looked like asleep. Like defensively, they just looked.
They call it the FIFA hangover, actually. And the big teams usually drop points. Guys don't play, whatever. And especially the worst one is when you have the FIFA, and then you come back and Champions League starts immediately, like it is now.
Yeah,
you gotta make some calls, and the other team they need 3 points. They need that number 4 spot if they can.
So that game is 2-0 with Sevilla up. Nice goals though. I felt like Ter Stegen.
Very nice goals.
First, like Ter Stegen was off too though. I felt like he
was off on the first one a little bit, but the second one they just opened him up completely. Like the passing was nice. The Muriel finish, huh?
Yeah, hit in the face off the first one, and then the rebound. Like I felt like he got his hand on it, but either way,
again, he's bound to make mistakes. He's getting scored on, but Muriel, by the way, has been having a really, really nice season. And Franco Vasquez, he's doing his thing, but the focus being on Messi and Busquets makes us forget that Wissam Ben Yedder did not play for Sevilla because they rested him
for Champions League. Yep.
We'll get back to this later, but I was reading an article about how different teams rested different guys and what the outcomes may be. Mm-hmm. And Sevilla rested Wissam, but they ran their ass off for the fucking whole game and came away with it with a heartbreaking
point. Yeah,
but like a heartbreaking, you know, like they worked their ass off.
So 87th minute. Tell us about that Suarez.
So Messi comes on, like we talked about. This is after Piqué actually clears off the goal line to keep it at 2-0, which at the time I thought didn't fucking matter, because this is going to be their first loss of the season. But Messi comes on in the 58th, and they take off Dembele immediately, more mature. Even though I like what Dembele is doing, and he's coming into his own more. He's got a bit of a temper, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah. But, you get yellow? Do you get cautions in the game, or just?
I mean, like if you just like a regular touch foul really annoys him. Mm-hmm. Like he feels like a young Ronaldo. Ronaldo used to hate it, and when people complained about diving, he says, "I don't fall unless you touch me." Like he thought that basketball is soccer is a non-contact sport.
Right? No, bro. Yeah, but so Messi comes on. Still takes him a while to open them up, and even it took him a corner to open them up.
Yeah, it took him a corner that just didn't want to get cleared.
Man, it took a bounce. Like it just was nobody touched it.
Everybody was just kind of like looking at it, and the poacher of all poachers was in the back post, and you show him a ball, you show him the net, he'll get it in somehow.
And like on first run, like I think I mentioned it earlier as a goal of the week candidate for me, just because I felt like it looked normal at first, and then I was like, oh shit, he like kicked his right leg above his head, and
it's one of those degree of difficulty goals that doesn't get the recognition because it's not spectacular looking, but yeah,
like, takes a lot of skill.
Yeah, it's definitely
dexterity and athleticism. Hell
like that poaching back in Ruud van Nistelrooy in Manchester United. The guy, he even scored with his chin once, you know. Like there are some strikers that will just get the ball to cross the
cherry picker.
Yeah, some guy is known for scoring the most goals from like a falling position, you know.
So speaking of like balls that just failed to be cleared, the cutback from Coutinho to Messi just kind of like drifted through a couple Sevilla players, and they paid for it, man.
Again, that goes back to the Messi factor we're talking about and how they got conservative and sat back. When Coutinho gave him the pass, he kind of just like stepped over it, but like the guy didn't want to commit and come on to Messi because he knows that if he gets by him, then it's a sure goal.
Yeah.
He didn't realize that it also, like, it's the art of like guarding him. What are you going to do? If you come up one more step, you're burned. Yeah. If you stay back, he hits that shot, which, if we're talking degree of difficulty, nobody else even takes. Maybe Arjen Robben from the angle it came, but like, the guy did this good defensive, like stay conservative, stay off him a little bit, give him a little cover too.
So that's tough. In the 90th minute, Sevilla takes the point home instead of all three. This ends a run of 7 straight wins for Sevilla over Sevilla for Barcelona. Also ends a run of 5 straight wins for Barcelona and 5 straight clean sheets. Barcelona remained top of the La Liga and undefeated. Sevilla languished in 6th, man, only 2 points up on Girona for the last European spot. Are they like fucking going
3 points up on Real Betis, who's their eternal hated city rivals, and they have a derby coming up soon. I believe.
Sevilla's risking not being in Europe. Are they? They're kind of going for this Champions League kind of seriously.
When you have a season that you fired your coach, you already used your lifeline. They're all in for whatever the fuck they can get. Dude.
For sure. Tough. Man of the match.
Man of the match, I'd have to give it to Lionel Messi. He came in late and fucking just destroyed him.
Took the point. Took the point back. All right, we're gonna move along. Head over to Serie A. A couple games with big implications. We're going to look at. Yeah, but we're going to look at one of them. We'll mention the other. But Juventus hosting AC Milan. This looked like a pretty juicy matchup. Juventus actually looked ripe for the pickings. We've been talking about them lately, just as far as just not being the most impressive, yet still victorious. And AC Milan on a bit of a run outside of the Arsenal drubbing. But Juventus smacked them down, man, 3-1.
Yeah. It was a game where basically professionals won. It wasn't like in terms of football played, in terms of how we thought it would be and how it turned out. AC Milan really played well, and they came to Juve and gave them a huge challenge. Juventus starts off early, they come at them. Paulo Dybala is at the beginning of the season was having a shit time.
A little slow, yeah.
But
he's coming to vicious form.
The past few months, including Tottenham matchup and all that, he's saved quite a few points. He personally has got them about since 2018 started, I would say 10 to 12 points that he has earned them.
And they're the most unimpressive, damn near undefeated.
But
quarters. I mean, they're alive and everything. They're gonna,
But if you look at the team, first of all, like old Bayern Munich teams, like old Manchester United teams, they're good at winning games that they're not looking good in. They understand that, playing well is one thing, but when you're playing bad, how do you not let that become a disaster? Mm-hmm. And they hold the fort pretty nicely. They do the last second clearances, all that. Their defense is even their midfielders, they come in and sit tight, Yep. So after Paulo Dybala opens it up with a fucking beautiful finish, he got him nicely. AC Milan responds well. Andre Silva gets a great chance, misses it. Then Bonucci,
nice header off
wicked header off the corner, and celebrates against his old team like he just won a World Cup. He went to the corner flag and slid. Hit the side, what do you call it? The adverts.
Yeah.
Kicked them. It was everything that I love in football. I was like, I hate this. I don't celebrate against my old team. Shit.
Nah, fuck that.
And then he came out after the game and he was like, yeah, I wasn't going to celebrate, but the cold reception I got pissed me off. So I decided,
if you can jeer, I can fucking celebrate.
Dude,
man.
He celebrated the shit out of that goal.
And they go to half tied up, man, but it did not stay that way, man. Yeah, like you said though, AC man played pretty well. Probably got saved by the woodwork on that one. Gigi got saved.
But did you the irony of the goal, if I may, was that Bonucci found space right between Barzagli and Chiellini. It was a BBC reunion.
Whoops. Not the kind they were looking for.
No.
But AC fell asleep just a couple times, really, man. But they were beautiful crossing connections coming
They
from
set up
Juventus.
in the 4-3-3 to play against them. AC Milan, a traditional 4-3-3 against the 3-5-2. And Hakan Çalhanoğlu was destroying the dudes on the fucking wings.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he was killing them. And he put in a couple of crosses. And that's the Andre Silva fucked up on one of them. Bonucci scores off one of his moves and crosses a corner. And then fucking he beats Buffon and ball comes back off the crossbar.
Yeah.
Like, this kid was balling. He's been having a really good season. Turkish cat.
Yeah.
But
Hey, like
the
I said, AC felt...
the substitutions that Allegri brought on to this game show you what's the big club.
Yeah.
AC Milan they're good, they're part of history, all that.
Yeah.
But this guy reached into his pocket and brought out Cuadrado, who hasn't played in 2018, but just off of a hamstring injury.
Damn.
He brought in Brazilian kid, Douglas Costa.
Yeah.
These guys changed the game.
Yeah.
Sami Khedira, who until Cuadrado came onto the field was asleep,
Yeah.
hooked it up with a nice fucking pass. Cuadrado puts them ahead.
Yep.
Then Sami decides, no, I want to be involved in this game even more. Fucking puts it away in the 87th from man of the match. I would even argue to say, if the season goes on like this, player of the season in Serie A, Paulo Dybala gives him the assist.
Yeah.
There are guys that have been doing things that, if you look at the stats over the course of the season, you would hold them up against his. But when you look at how much of their shit they did in August and September, and how much of his shit he's doing in April and March, and then let's talk
Big
about
games,
it.
for sure. Dybala.
If they made his work count, they would have fucking won by more. Like, he was one of the only guys before the substitutions that really was trying.
Falling out. I do also want to mention that there's this awesome thing that I came across on YouTube, which is somebody recreated this whole game using Lego characters.
This particular game?
Yes. And you should check it out. Like, they
I
put some work into that, dude.
I would, but like, that was quick.
I was quick. That was the other thing I thought. I was like, damn. I looked at that first, actually, and then I went and looked at the Dybala highlight. I was like, damn, they got that shit right. All right. So Juventus stay atop Serie A, and they actually increased their lead to 4 points because, sadly, Napoli drew with Sassuolo 1-1, dude. Terrible. Damn, they had to come back for that, too. Sassuolo was up.
Yeah, but Napoli's running out of gas. Like,
It certainly seems like it, but they're still there, and they have the game with Juventus. 24 straight with no loss for Juventus, and that's their third straight win against AC Milan. AC sits 6th place, dropping crucial points in the race for 4th. I don't think they're really in that, but they're only 8 points back and only staying up 3 points and holding on to their Europa spot.
The combustibility of the teams above them allow me to still believe that 8 points in Italy,
Possible.
like currency exchange, sometimes
Inter and
points
Lazio
are not the same in different places, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, Inter and Lazio, like, they can beat somebody, but they also can suck. But right now, Mauro, Icardi, and Perisic, they both scored this weekend too. They're both back online.
They put up 6, right?
Yeah,
they put up 6. All right, we're going to move along. We already mentioned the man of the match for that was Dybala. We're going to move along, head to France, but not for a league game, for the Coupe de la Ligue, their League Cup. PSG, Monaco. It sounds tastier than it probably was.
doesn't sound that tasty either. People, if Borussia Dortmund had actually got on the fucking team bus this weekend, we would not be talking about this game. But unfortunately, you can fucking curse out Dortmund and all its natives for what is happening by the fact that we're discussing this game. This PSG Monaco game was almost as boring as the Stoke Arsenal game, except it had higher caliber players and a particular man, Kylian Mbappe, who makes 220 million euros on Neymar seems like a waste because all it's gonna do is stop this guy's growth.
I can't wait till he moves on. Actually,
Who?
Just, one of them. It doesn't matter.
I think it should just be this guy's team. He's the French kid.
He's the French kid, man. Shit, yeah.
Neymar go to Real Madrid and just embrace the
Double your money. Double your money. Sell him for 500 or whatever.
And like Ronaldo, just embrace the douchebaggery and just go with it. Like,
I think so. I think you're right, man. As a Barca follower, supporter, like I feel exactly. I don't even care. Like go to Madrid.
Yeah, whatever.
Cool.
Tired of seeing him complain that some African guy kicked him.
I know, right?
Fucking
Broken
France.
ankle.
It's like, oh well, you shouldn't have done that fourth step over.
He's been acting a damn fool. As my buddy, one of my buddies say, acting a donkey. For real. But PSG, man, come away with their first trophy of the season. This is started off by a penalty by Cavani. Cavani with the brace.
Yeah, Cavani with the brace, but
Probably could have had like 4.
Mbappe created a brace out of 4 is a good day for him, dude.
For sure. For sure.
But Mbappe created all the goals, even got fouled
For the PK, yeah.
and was gracious enough to not have a televised confrontation with Cavani over the penalty. Either that or he understood Cavani not... Dude, he has such a big, like, I think 1.5 million euro bonus if he finishes top scorer. They're trying to take
Cavani?
penalty.
Cavani?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, yeah.
Yeah. Come on, man. Money.
You gotta get that money, dude.
Yeah.
I don't care how you feel. Go get fouled and get
Yeah,
that's my penalty. Thank you.
I got that.
Yeah, that's good.
League scorer. Here.
Yeah,
Here.
I'll buy you a watch when I get my bonus.
Oh, sure. But yeah, this is handily comes through. Monaco had a few opportunities. The kid Ronnie Lopez had a few nice opportunities.
That's a fucking awesome. Ronnie Lopez.
Ronnie Lopez.
It sounds like
looked dangerous in this game.
Zach Galifianakis is like that George Lopez. I like George Lopez. Ronnie Lopez.
He was nice for them though.
He was alright. The bigger story is that Lamar just completely shit the bed.
He did. He didn't look like much.
Dude.
A couple some lame attempts on
Lamar.
Neymar. Who's the other cat for them? Falcao had a goal pulled back by VAR. And was so upset about it after the game that he commented,
Dude.
VAR will ruin football. I'm slightly in agreement, but you know,
hey, when you pay
it's tough out there.
somebody,
That would have made the game 2-1.
when you give somebody 20 million untaxed euros as their salary,
Cry me a fucking river.
they start believing things and they start feeling that they should express themselves. And sometimes it just be quiet.
It's tough out there. Yeah, take 20
You're
million.
living in Monaco.
Enjoy your time. Yeah, you're still
Yeah.
scoring fucking 20 goals. Like, enjoy, homie.
Yeah.
All right, man, we're going to move on. Man of the match was Mbappe. I think we mentioned that, or at least we agree on that. Mid-4. Move on. Midfield. Link up, play. EPL. Roundup. Saturday morning, I wake up to the treat of Crystal Palace hosting Liverpool.
So you did not wake up.
At least not till half.
Liverpool
I
didn't
watched
wake
most
up
of
until
it.
later in the game too, actually.
Yeah, Palace got this started off on the right foot and ended up 1-0.
Yeah, through Mitrovic. Miljovic?
The girl that plays in Resident Evil, right?
Ah, yes. She scored a wonderful goal. But the funny thing is, like, in the past few seasons, Crystal Palace actually had a decent record against Liverpool.
Yeah.
They were singing, like, a couple of seasons ago, they were singing, You Must Hate Seeing Us, because they kept upsetting them.
Yeah, Palace has crazy atmosphere too.
Yeah, and their
Kinda,
fans are known for just being happy and fun, not too pressed about, like, fighting you and shit like other London teams. Y'all hear me, West Ham? Keep fighting.
Hooligans.
Anyway, they go ahead through Mitrovic. But Liverpool come back early second half. The boy Sadio Mane And then late in the
Man,
game,
Sadio Mane, after not being sent, but no, actually before he should have been sent off.
is it?
Boom.
Mane should have been
Off.
That is in the notes. Circled too. Like,
awful, dude.
first of all,
His goal was nice though. His goal was nice.
but I'm just glad that as an African, I have to say I'm happy that he did not get sent off for diving and intentional handball. Like, that's a terrible combination to represent. With.
Yeah, that's how you balling, son. That's how you balling out there. And it
Like,
was a handball. It shit looked
was.
it looked like hungry hippo. Like when he just put his hand out there, like, give me that.
I know he's like a little kid. Like, I see you, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Like, you're right there.
Yo, there's like 40,000 people here.
But apparently, it's not a punishable offense. The fucking commentator was baffled.
Yeah.
Like, he would not stop talking about it.
Like I said, like I texted a few of my buddy, mini balls by the ref. To not be able to call that, dude, not call that, not have him sent off, like, that
That's
changes
it.
that game.
Dude, that's easy. The guy has got red cards before. You're not gonna get the backlash of he's not this guy that gets sent off. He's got red card for
Grab
kicking
the
somebody.
ball.
He's got a red
On
card
the edge
for,
of the box.
He's got multiple times diving yellow cards.
Yep.
He's kicked some guy in the face before. Give him a yellow card. This is a no pressure situation. It's not like you're taking
Yellow,
like
he's
Captain
off.
Fantastic and some.
No, it's not. But with all that, he stays on. And
I don't think Crystal Palace would have been Liverpool or tied them with 10 men.
either way, Liverpool was going to score.
Yeah, Liverpool was there to take them 3 points, and God damn it, they took them 3 points.
Mo Salah took them 3 points.
Yeah, man.
Came back 29th.
If he scores 2 more, I'm gonna be Muslim too.
Bird up. Moving along. Huge points for Liverpool again. West Brom hosting Burnley. West Brom pretty much relegated to the relegation. And they
Relegated to the relegation?
Absolutely. They took a 2-1 L to Burnley something, kid.
And the boy Pardon, Pardon, let the door hit you on your way out, son.
Yeah, it's been bad, dude. Burnley.
What was it? 1 win out of his 17 games in
Is that
charge.
what it is?
I mean, that's what it is because it's done now.
Yeah.
By mutual, what do they call it?
Oh,
By
mutual agreement.
You gotta shake hands, son.
Y'all see, we didn't cover that like we covered the other ones earlier in the year.
Nah, because this is late.
Yeah, it's
We
late.
thought he should have been fired when they hired him.
West Brom taking another L, stuck on 20 points. West Ham, though, answering the fans' call at home and crushing Southampton 3-0. Arnautovic.
Telling the fans who's not a bitch.
Not a bitch.
Not a bitch.
He has some nice goals, too, dude.
Yes, beautiful goal. Jean-Mario also balled in.
Mario, it did.
It was nice to see Lanzini get selected for Argentina over our bye week. But I think West Ham survives. Yeah. The relegation teams have pretty much separated themselves at this point.
Yep, it's still a little bit of a battle.
There is, but mostly it's coming.
It's
down
about
to
5
like
teams.
4 or
It's
5
like 5
teams
teams
now.
Yeah. Newcastle with a huge 80-minute goal from Ayo Jose Perez over Huddersfield. They get the points. Moves them 8 clear of relegation. That's a huge relegation match, man.
Huge relegation match. But it's also, even though they won, this shows you a lot about Newcastle. Newcastle has been playing some really good football, really good defense, but they just don't have guys that score.
With a championship team, basically.
Basically. And in this game, they took 18 shots and only hit the target 3 times. Huddersfield took 4 shots with 0 on target, so they got lucky with that. But like what I'm saying is, like, they don't deserve to go down. Like,
No, I don't think they do
Rafa
either.
Benitez should be given consideration for some sort of Coach of the Year award for keeping this team up and comfortably up by the time it's all said and done.
Yeah, no doubt. He's doing work over there, Rafa.
Oh yeah, get it.
All right, moving along. Man United beat Swans 2-0. Thought Swans had a chance at the beginning of this game, but they didn't come to play really, man. Once Lukaku scored.
First of all, Swansea, Lukaku kind of opposition. Let's be real about it. That's the kind of games that butter his bread.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And Alexis Sanchez wanted in on the act too. He got an assist and a goal. pad your stats. We're happy for you. But you know they didn't have a good game when Mourinho comes out after the game and he's like, why are you complaining about our style of play? Why don't you compliment Carvajal for making the changes that made it difficult for us to play against them? I'm like, because you're the fucking coach of Manchester United.
Oh my god, dude. Moving along. Brighton Hove hosting Leicester.
Benson and Hedges Albion.
Yeah. They take a 2-0 L to Leicester.
10-man Leicester.
Yeah, 10-man Leicester.
Yeah.
They were up, but Vardy sealed that. Has a Vardy party late.
Yes, Vardy party and Vincent Iborra score. Even though
Indeedy,
had a red card, but Leicester is in good form. They're gonna finish middle of the table. Leicester has taken the Everton Award for Evertoning to a different level this year, and they're the most Everton team in the Premier League.
No doubt. Leicesterton. One quick question I wanted to ask about them. Vardy, should he go to Russia?
Should he go to Russia?
Yeah. Should he play on the international team?
Yeah.
Should be consideration to start.
Yeah.
2-man front with Kane?
I don't know if that's gonna work, but like I think they have
on
both
some rotation
earned the right to be in there. If Kane is the starter, then this guy should get time. I'm not saying that Vardy should go and be the number 9 for England.
Yeah.
But the kind of runs he brings, I think he's actually a better fit
Vardy,
for and for the English style of play and what they're trying to accomplish. I actually think he's a better fit. But Kane is the better player.
Yeah.
And deservedly will be the starter.
Yeah. Good.
It would have been interesting if Vardy wasn't also such a pure number 9. They're both pure strikers.
Yeah.
One of them you can't be like, oh, forward 4-3-3 and stick him out.
Yep.
Nah.
Yep. All right. Moving along, then we have a bunch of games on Saturday. Watford, Bournemouth, a 2-2 with fucking dinosaurs scoring goals.
Yes, Jermaine Defoe.
Defoe G.
Defoe G. Yeah, Defoe. Triple OG,
dude. Put a stoppage time equalizer for Bournemouth.
Time equalizer in the stoppage time of his career.
For real.
Which he managed to finagle a 3-year contract out of Bournemouth for this fucking off season off of some shit. They got him out of fucking Toronto. He was banished out of the Premier League. He was a failure in Toronto FC. They did some flippage and they got this dude and he's balling out.
Crazy.
I mean, he's not. He scored in this game.
You go to MLS. He's having a pretty decent year for like 35-year-old striker or some shit.
Yeah, I mean, he's had like 4 or 5 goals. But like the thing is, his agent just completely stuck it to them because he's like on a 3-year. Like I think he's
paid,
he's coming on for like 5-minute cameos. It looks nice this week, but he's not always scoring. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah. All right, moving along. Final game of a game-packed Saturday was Everton hosting Manchester City. Everton, the first team to take points off of City with a draw earlier in the year. Could they replicate that this time? I don't think so.
No, they cannot.
And they did not.
Not a lot.
Jesus, Sane, Sterling, Silva, they just ran rampant.
They just, they lost everything. Like, they lost the first pass, they lost the handshake, they lost the national anthem. It was 1-0 in 4 minutes, 2-0 in 12 minutes. Wrapped up and ready for Champions League by 37 minutes.
Yeah.
Game done.
3-0. And then they coasted pretty much. Like, honestly, they fucking
coasted through a lot of games when you have 3 guys on your team that have more than 11 assists on the season that are just pinging the ball around, and you got strikers that are just unstoppable on their day with Jesus and Aguero, and with service that nobody has seen in the Premier League in a long fucking time, you know?
Yeah.
Like, this is some serious ball movement.
Silva, do you think Silva has crept into the Player of the Year discussion?
I don't think
Missed
so.
too
I
many
think
games?
he's missed too many games, and I think that if anything, Mo Salah is running away.
I was going to say we're looking at a Salah runaway.
Silva, Raheem Sterling, kind of, but like Silva, KDB, and Leroy Sané at different times have really been doing it for.
Yeah.
And I think that this is more going down to Pep being coach of the year than anything else, because all these guys are equally deserving, but like the fact that everybody's doing it just shows you that it's a system thing. You know?
Yeah,
whereas Mo Salah has... Whew.
True. All right, moving along. Sunday, we had 2 games. We already talked about one of them. Second game, Arsenal, Stoke. 2 PKs for Arsenal in this game.
On one of the tweets from, I think it was like Sky or one of these on Twitter accounts, and they were writing about it, live tweeting, and they said, "We're watching this so you don't have to." And that is exactly...
Talk about a game I didn't bother to get up for.
It was such a shit face. It was so boring. Like, Arsenal won it, but more interestingly, Shaqiri this week came out, basically Stoke's only player that knows how to play football, and said, sometimes it's frustrating knowing that even Ronaldinho could not save this team. You know?
Thanks, bro. Thanks, teammate. Thanks.
And he starts because he's right, so they don't say anything, and he just starts in the game. So that's like, and Arsenal is still not like taking care of that.
Yeah. Damn, they still come away with a 3-0.
Yeah, eventually.
Aubameyang,
and then he was cute. He gave Lacazette the penalty because he was like, "I want his confidence."
Oh my God.
Melt.
Good. Sweet. So kind, Arsenal. Either way, top 4 remains: City, United, Liverpool, Tottenham. City can clinch next week away to Manchester United. Talk about that a little bit later. Chelsea, 5th place, now 8 points back of a 4th place spot and only 5 points up on Arsenal. Any chance Arsenal catches them?
I don't think so. I don't think they do, but there's any chance? Yes, there's a lot of chance. Like, they only need to lose 2 games out of Arsenal.
Yeah. Who's coaching Chelsea next year?
Who's coaching Chelsea next year is a big question. I have no idea, but Antonio Conte, I think, is going to be the coach of Italy next season.
Okay. Word up. Relegation remains exactly the same as nobody in the zone picked up points. West Brom, Stoke, and Southampton all looking ripe for the drop, but still a couple teams also in that realm.
Yeah, like those 3 teams seem like they're making the stand, and they're gonna keep those spots.
Crystal Palace within 2 points of the drop zone, and Huddersfield and Swansea within 3 points. So still a tight race. Anything can happen. You never know. There are games in hand here for Southampton. They would be out of the relegation zone with a win, or even not a point, a win. Anyway, moving along. Golden Boot race stays. Actually added 1 for Salah. 29. We said last week he would probably get the goal, or get the goal record. So still on pace. And they'll have a lot to play for. Maybe they won't. I don't know. Do you think they'll keep playing the full team? Yeah,
they're gonna play the season.
If they advance in Champions League as well.
If
they prioritize the Champions League, right?
It might be like 1 game or whatever. I was looking at their schedule, but like it's fine. Like,
okay,
they
play. Yeah, we ran over that last week. They play a bunch of
they're fine.
All right,
and he's really selling to the people that his team works hard, all this, and you can't just shut it off, you know?
Yeah.
They're going to play.
No doubt. I believe in that too, though, actually.
Exactly.
Moving along, La Liga, Spain roundup. We already talked about Barcelona and Sevilla.
Girona.
Yep, started off on Saturday morning. Girona and Levante. Levante just been picking up points.
Levante doing their thing. They actually picking up 1s and 2s and stuff, and they got enough points to where I think relegation in Spain is done.
Yeah, I think
100% done D.
Yep.
And they're in 17th place, but where they have 28 points, everybody around them has something like that. Whereas these three teams have committed. So Levante, big up on picking up whatever points. Girona, they're having an excellent season. They're probably going to finish 10th or 9th, 9, 10, 11, something like that. But big up to them, you know?
Yep. Word up. Moving along, Girona, man, balling out, almost on Sevilla's heels for that European spot, as I mentioned earlier. Athletic Bilbao hosting Celta Vigo with another 1-1 draw.
Yes, it was actually a week of draws. With out of the 9 games, there was about 5, not about, but exactly 5 draws, and the FIFA hangover was real in Spain because a lot of teams don't look like they came back to play. So
yeah, it's tough out there, man.
Yeah, Bilbao, Celta Vigo.
Not every team can. I mean, if you're lucky enough to have good players, I mean, it's just the price you got to pay, man. Send them away for international friendlies.
Like Celta Vigo have the kid Iago Aspas. He was with on Spanish duty. You come back and your return game is in San Sebastian to play against Athletic Bilbao. Like that's that's a big ask, you know. That's
Absolutely.
He gets the same team well rested. They will fuck them up. And this game, Celta Vigo neither scores nor gives up less than 2 goals in their games.
Yeah.
As you can see, the 1-1 shows lethargy.
Yeah, it's true. Talked about them a few times. Moving along, Las Palmas with the losing to Real Madrid at home, 3-3.
Yes, and resting
Ronaldo.
Ronnie Boy.
Right?
Yeah.
Didn't play at all, not even as a sub?
No, I don't think he was on the squad, actually.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Bale
with the brace.
Yeah, and Benz did his thing. But Bale, looking more and more as the season goes on, that Bale will not be a Real Madrid player next year.
Where do you think?
I'm not sure, but it might be either. I think it's the toss-up between Chelsea and Manchester United.
United, right? I can see United.
I can see United get him, but that would suck so much because those positions are already taken by guys that are like 19, 20. Why buy a 28-year-old guy?
Yeah, I agree.
I can see him go to Chelsea.
Yeah. No doubt.
Maybe in a switch.
In a switch for Hazard, man.
Plus cash.
That wouldn't be even.
It wouldn't be.
That'd be a downgrade for Chelsea.
You'd have
but
to
Chelsea,
give him cash. But like if he wants
Chelsea
to go,
could save face a little bit if they did that.
If he insists on going, they might ask for Bale plus cash. You know, we'll see.
Word up. Interesting. But what's not interesting is Espanyol hosting Alaves to a 0-0 draw.
Yes, that was very not interesting.
It's about that interesting. What I find even more interesting is Valencia with their 1-0 over Leganes.
Very, very important 1-0 because when we look at the next score, you'll understand. But this 1-0 essentially guarantees Valencia Champions League next season.
Valencia with the incredible, what they have, 4 shots.
Like maybe in the last 5 games, like every game we talk about them, they've statistically been dominated, and yet they keep getting these points. And now the top 4 for next year, I don't know what the order is going to be, but it's set, you know, because right after this game, the next game was
Malaga Villarreal.
Yes, if you're trying to fucking catch 4th place.
Can't be out there losing to Malaga.
Lose to motherfucking Malaga.
They're already relegated.
They had 14 points coming into the game. Like that can't be the team. Like I hope Villarreal goes out of all European contention
just for that.
And
just
either
for that loss.
Girona, Sevilla, Betis, any of those guys around them passes them because they have shown such a lack of ambition. That to do something like this, to sell fucking Cedric in the middle of the fucking season and act like nobody, like they just like got rid of him, like act like we didn't notice that the fucking your leading goal scorer just fucking went to China. Like where the fuck is the dude? Like, you gonna play him today? Nah, man.
Nah, he's playing for the Dragons.
I was like, hey, you took the
Shanghai,
money.
whatever the
You've
fuck.
already received your European money. Let somebody else make it. You have shown serious lack of ambition in how you conduct yourselves.
No doubt, the Yellow Submarine taking the L to Malaga. Eibar Real Sociedad with the 0-0 draw as well.
It's a Basque derby.
Yeah?
They're from one part of Basque and another. I don't know which.
0-0 games, man. There's a lot of this going on in La Liga this week. 2 of them and a bunch of 1-0s.
Yeah.
Following
5
up.
total ties in 9 games.
So Atletico Madrid is another one of those victorious 1-0 winners over Deportivo La Coruña.
Yes, this is the result that actually pretty much secured Levante's survival, because Atleti stealing the 1-0 kept Depor at 20 points, and Seedorf's management of that team, I don't know what it's called, but it's doing nothing. Like they were losing 1-0s and 2-0s before, they're losing 1-0s and 2-0s now. Like, with the black coach.
Not much.
I like Clarence Seedorf, one of the best midfielders I've seen come out of Holland, but
Yeah,
come on, dude,
coaching
like,
career
do
was not
something.
taking off to an astronomical start.
man.
Also, just today, make mention, probably just ended a few minutes ago, Real Betis with the 1-0 victory over Getafe.
Yes, Real Betis have fixed their ship this season, and they are ready to challenge the good peeps at Sevilla, Villarreal, and all of them. And they're actually a very exciting young team to watch.
No doubt. Barcelona remains top of La Liga, 9 points clear of second place Atletico Madrid, 13 points clear of third place Real Madrid, and Valencia rounds it out fourth place.
So, 1 second.
Yep.
You said Betis, if they pull off the victory, Betis is actually going to be...
They are. They're in sixth. They did, and now they're in sixth place.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Sevilla is
Tied
out
with
of...
Sevilla.
Yep.
With 46 points, yes.
Yep. So that race actually looks pretty interesting. 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th, all separated by 3 points. So that's some tension for the European spots. As we discussed, we feel like relegation is done in La Liga. Las Palmas, Deportivo, and Malaga. 17th place is Levante, 7 points clear. So I mean that's pretty safe with 8 games to go.
Yeah,
especially the way they've been playing.
7 points clear against 3 teams that do not know not how to win, not how to tie, but how to score. And in a league that is known for scoring, if you have a 7-point advantage over those 3 teams, you're safe, dude.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason they'll play is because, at the end of the season they have the baggage exchanges in Spain, where if, like, say, Las Palmas is playing Barcelona, Real Madrid will send them some money to still play.
Yeah, I think you've mentioned that here before. Yeah, man. Top players, top goal scorer, leader for the Pichichi, Lionel Messi.
Oh, that guy.
Added a goal, 26. Ronaldo did not play, still stuck on 22, as is Luis Suarez, who added 1 at 22. Man, that's the La Liga roundup.
Yeah.
We're going to move along to some European competition. Start you with the Europa League quarterfinal preview. And we are looking at Red Bull Leipzig hosting.
That's my favorite Red Bull in this competition.
Oh, yeah. I'm the other one. I go for that. I like the other one.
You like Salzburg?
I like Salzburg.
Oh, man. I like Leipzig.
Something about the Austrian wines, man. Yeah.
Leipzig.
Leipzig. The representatives of all corporate evil and greed. And
against Marseille, the team of the people of France.
Yeah.
The southern city where they're called the first African city in Europe.
In Europe. No doubt. Shout out. Interesting matchup, though.
Interesting matchup. The RB Leipzig play a very direct style with the theory of if you don't shoot, you don't score that we have discussed here with you before. And Timo Werner, Naby Keita and stuff play a very aggressive, direct style against Marseille, who through Thauvin and all of them attack you more through the wings. And it's a clash of styles, but they're both very fun teams to watch that go after it. And
No doubt.
it's going to be like very predictable.
Yeah, top of the table teams from Bundesliga and League One. Even
Marseille
Europa is
fans,
type
I
of...
don't think they can make it. They've been having some slight issues with the UEFA, you know?
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just the
Elaborate.
UEFA, and then like the Marseille fans and the PSG fans were both and Lyon fans were both charged by UEFA for behavior during European the last round.
Oops.
And to make it better, the two teams then got charged by the French league after, like, on Thursday they played their European games.
Yep.
They got charged by Europa, and while that was being discussed by UEFA, that weekend their fans got in a fight with each other. Your Honor, this is not our character. What? What's going on back there? Oh, they're fighting again. What do you mean again?
Isn't this who Everett was playing for?
Yeah. Where he applied the foot to face technique?
Yes.
Yeah.
Roundhouse kick to the face.
Oh, yeah. And then they made a big, huge banner
Of his
saying,
own
go
fans.
fuck yourself and
Yeah,
shit.
dude, you can't kick your own supporter, dude.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Dude, it takes like 200 words to say fuck you in French, man. They wrote it all across the stadium.
Oh my god, dude. All right, Arsenal CSKA.
It depends on what team Arsenal puts out at this point, but on the home leg, Arsenal, I see them putting a lot of pressure on CSKA. You know, these Russian teams are very mature and they have a lot of older players, so they if they make it out of Arsenal, out of London with just a 1-0
Goal.
loss,
Or even a goal. I mean,
if they even get an away goal, that's even better. What I'm saying is, like, even a scenario
Even
where they
1-0
lose, no away goal, and they're 1-0, whatever.
2-1 Arsenal at home or something.
Arsenal gonna have something to think about in Russia.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's the thing. So, does Arsenal try to finish this tie here, and do they have the capabilities of it? Because if it goes back to
Yeah,
Russia, still
capabilities, yeah.
close, it's about to get messy, yo.
Yeah.
And not Lionel.
Not Leo.
Nah.
No Leo. Word up. Atleti Sporting Lisbon.
Da. I think Atleti should beat Sporting Lisbon. Sporting Lisbon is nice. They have
They've been-
talent. They have William Carvalho. They have a few guys, and they're really good. But Atleti since late 2017
They've been
and this season,
they've been ransacking people in
and in
Europa
Europa,
League too.
they've been like showing people they don't deserve to be there.
It's like this is some
They're
bullshit.
like, nah.
Fucking Roma.
Nah, they're like the kid that failed too much and ended up with like young classmates, and he's dunking on them in the fucking
Yeah.
game.
I mean, they just had a slow start to the season, man. They paid for it a little bit.
Big shout to Evon. There's a guy in our school that
Yeah.
failed
Okay.
so much that he was 6-7 years older than his classmates, so he just fucking balled out in soccer.
You think? Shit, 6-7 years, dude. I had 1 year up in elementary basketball, dude, and I averaged like 20 something a game.
Dude, the guy was driving to school and he was in 7th grade.
Oh shit, man! Last matchup, Europa League quarterfinals has Lazio hosting eventual Austrian champion RB Salzburg.
I think in Austria they don't have issues with teams being bought by companies the way Germany has, so they don't pretend and call it Rabesbank just Brab like they did in Leipzig. They just
Spit
call
that-
it
just spit
Red
that
Bull Salzburg because that's who owns it. Who does it? Red Bull owns
Red
us.
Bull,
Yes,
that's
they're
it.
allowed to. They have their receipts.
No,
They are the owners of this fucking club.
How do you see this shaping out? Shaping up. Turning out.
I don't know. I would say
You have
because
to
it's the
say
first. Oh, the outcome of the whole tie, or just for the game? The game, I think that Lazio wins, but Lazio don't have a finishing. Like they don't have a finishing instinct. They've been dropping a lot of points. Even the last round, they struggled. So I don't know enough about Salzburg, but from what I've seen, I think Lazio is the better team.
Yeah, for sure. I still think Salzburg has a chance here. They're working it in the Austrian league. Have some decent players, but
same blueprint as Leipzig, you know.
Yeah. But if Chiro comes to play, you're gonna have problems.
Chiro and the midfielder Milinkovic-Savic is gonna be sold for huge money this summer.
It's a dope ass name,
Milinkovic-Savic.
Savage. Yeah.
That's his whole last name. That's not like his first and last name. He's got that hyphenated last name, Milinkovic-Savic.
Damn. Word up. All right, now we're gonna move on to the big boy, the big brother competition, Champions League, quarterfinals. Sevilla Bayern
is
at Sevilla.
In Seville.
So how should they approach this game?
Well,
Can't run out there and attack Bayern, but they're not like a sit-back team either.
Yeah, you can't defend against Bayern either. What do you mean you can't go out there and attack Bayern? Like you gotta do the best of your abilities with your game plan, like what your team can do, you know.
Yeah.
And they rested Wissam Ben Yedder over the weekend and a few more guys, but if you looked at how much Muriel ran, if you look at how much Franco Vasquez was running around, like especially Muriel, who they really depend on, Ever Banega, and who's the tall black kid? Anyways, all of them run so much against Barca to get a point. Bayern Munich just had a fucking party.
Yeah.
Like they just they're like pop, slap, Dortmund dead.
They always want to crush Dortmund's like their spirit, their ambition. Like they don't even want them to think about them threatening them. We're just gonna buy all your players. We're gonna beat your ass every time we see you. They had to be happy when Klopp left, man. Had to be.
Oh no, the final move of this whole move
is bringing Klopp back.
Hiring Klopp as the Bayern Munich manager. Hey, king me, bitch!
I done killed your brother, and I'm gonna show up with your wife to the funeral. Son.
Basically, dude.
Whew. Word up, man. That's Sevilla stand any chance?
Not with that defense, man.
What if they could hold Bayern to one goal here?
If they can hold Bayern to one goal, yeah,
one away goal.
Yeah, Sevilla, but I think that Sevilla misses too many chances to really contend against this team, and they're too open in the back. I think they might win because it's at home, but they'll give up. Like they might win 4-3. Like I wouldn't be surprised if that happened.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But over the course of 180 minutes in 2 games, I think Bayern Munich is gonna just
Bayern's pretty healthy too.
And they're patient. And they have like 2 players at every position, including goalkeeper. That goalkeeper, like I don't know why everybody's still just talking about Alisson and stuff. First of all, if you want to have a scary defense, don't get a dude called Alisson.
Alisson.
I kid. He's fucking amazing.
Word up. All right. Well, moving along. The other, some would say, uneven matchup of this particular round would be Barcelona hosting Roma. They smashed them. They smashed them in league play last year. That was last year, right? Like 7-1 or something.
Champions League play.
Champions League play. Yeah. Like bashed Roma. Do you see it
and
playing out any different?
No. Not 7-1, but I think that first leg at home, the fact that they did rest Messi, they rested Messi through the international break. They didn't just rest him. They're like, Argentina.
Don't be playing this dude with fucking friendlies.
We're gonna show you. Oh, you think you got Neymar? PSG's a one-man team? Nah, this is how you handle a one-man team.
Yeah.
He even tell his country when he can play, when he can't play.
For real, like, didn't they say he had like a hammy tweak or something?
They said even after the game, they're like, he's still a little sick.
Yeah, he's sick. Okay.
Oh, sure. Okay. Anyways.
Yep.
Roma though played it really nice, despite like how Sevilla, even though they got a point from Barca, we were telling about how much they ran. Roma rested just to get a same point. They rested their players, and Dzeko came in only as a sub. Now, if they can move the ball with Sengizunder and all of them and get Zeko his chances, Roma has a chance. But
Roma needs to
over
score
the
at least
course
one away goal, though.
And over the course of 2 legs, I don't think they stand a
just
chance.
don't have enough.
They're closer to a Europa League team than a quarterfinal Champions League team right
now. Yeah. Actually playing decently well, even though they drew this weekend in Serie A. Roma the surprise. Through team here. Either way, I don't think they have enough to do it either. Barcelona goes through. My prediction there. Juventus hosting Real Madrid. Some tasty. These last 2 matchups are pretty tasty.
Yes. Juve Real is a game of veterans. Like, it's just pro teams going like at it.
Yeah, it's like country's best players ever play in this game.
And it doesn't matter, like so and so is better, but like it's even like how much better are you that week or on that day, because they both are so loaded that it's an exciting matchup. Like,
could go either way. We talked about it, I think, in the last episode. Feel like Real Madrid is in the better form. They've really come around and have been waxing people lately.
Yeah, they've been doing their thing, but when you look at the team and like Isco's coming out talking about, I don't know how I'm going to get Zidane to like me and stuff. He's giving out interviews saying that, you know? That's not how you... Like Juve, like that's a well-polished vehicle, man. Like, they're one.
What does Juventus want to shoot for in this game? Like, what should their goal be? Like, do they, I mean...
A shutout. And win.
1-0 or something? 2-0 even? Don't give up the goal.
Any scenario where you don't give up the away goal, they'll take it. And that should be where you start.
Yep.
A lot of teams in the Champions League, they need to rethink how they think, because like they play very conservative away from home, and then they want to play their expansive football at home. When really, in reality, the points, the way they're set up, it makes more sense to bundle up and not letting a goal when you're playing at home and just like go balls to the wall, gamble away.
That's Mourinho and the 2-leg ties. That's what he would do a lot if he had that.
Yeah.
That first game at home. Yeah. Yep. No, for sure. All right. I just think that
2 legs nowadays.
Yeah. I think that's the total toss-up, man. That really, like you said, that's just the matters who shows up that particular week, man. And in that
Dybala is hot as hell. He scores this thing on the other side.
Ronaldo got a bunch of rest. Like Bale's coming into form, playing well.
Higuain can choke on good moments. Stuff like that. But I think that the difference, depending on team selection for Zidane, Pjanic in the middle can either make Juventus or break it, because sometimes he takes too long on the ball and he plays in a slow league.
Yeah.
These kids in Madrid are going to be all over them. Like, before you turn around, they're going to have 3 passes and they're at your goal, you know?
Mm-hmm. Speaking of speed, a lot of speed, the next matchup, what I think is probably the tastiest one, Liverpool hosting Manchester City. Fascinating little matchup here, as Liverpool fucking gave it to Manchester City the last time they met in the league, and then almost gave the game back.
Yeah, I think if I had to choose as neutral, I'd say that this is the second best matchup, because the Juve Real is just like a much bigger, brighter thing, and City Liverpool, the gap seems a lot bigger, even though they did, like you say, give them a game and beat the shit out of them. Like, since that happened, and this is with the understanding that I think next season, City's closest challenger out of the Premier League, if we keep projecting how things are going, is going to be Liverpool.
Absolutely.
But I think that they're still away. Like, they're not ready.
Yeah,
they're not ready.
Back of
whereas Juventus and Real are both ready and they're there. So I think this is the second biggest. But if Liverpool win the first game, the second leg, that's going to be the most anticipated one.
Yeah. And I think they certainly can. Manchester City has a problem playing away at Anfield. Liverpool, over the past few years, Liverpool just kind of gave it to City.
It's a matchup. It's the style matchup. Like, they know how to find the gaps in the system.
Yep. Klopp and Pep been playing this for a while too. So they know each other well. It should be a fun tie. What do you think? It's 50-50 toss-up, or you got City?
Home game for Liverpool, I think Liverpool for the win. But the City's going to score.
Okay.
Either 2-1, 3-2, something, but I think Liverpool's going to win this game.
City played Everton this week, and they stayed in Liverpool for the match. Some extra rest.
Whether that helps or not is what that Manchester
Used to
and
the
Liverpool are an hour drive away from each other, like less than 2 hours.
I know. Not even, I don't think, dude.
Yeah, something. Rafi was like, yo, these are just neighborhoods, home.
No doubt, man. All right, we're going to move along. Forward section. We're going to link up, kick it up top. For the award section, Dude of the Week goes to...
Gotta give Dude of the Week to... Danny Alley.
D, motherfucker, D.
Divey Alley, as they call him.
He turned in probably his performance of the season, man.
Yeah, he was the main culprit of that 2016 Tottenham collapse. Him and Dembele were the ones that lost their heads in that shit. And this week, he slew that beast and really put in a show. There wasn't even that many moments where he didn't have his twatty moments during the game either. He just came and he balled and he won.
He played a good game,
and he played a very good game.
Even outside of the goals, he played good.
Yeah. But he just stayed, kept his nose clean. He wasn't over there divey alleying all over the place. Not more than regular.
First goal, the way he caught that, and then beautiful. But that was the second most beautiful goal in that game to us, because we give goal of the week to
Christian Eriksen,
also known as the Elf.
Which this was a game of very nice goals, because Morata's dunk at the beginning too was did you see his hops on that?
Yeah.
But Eriksen,
absolutely,
he Eriksen the shit out of that Eriksen.
Yeah,
that's exactly what it was. It was his
knuckleball. Look like
him. Tony Cruz, they have this you give them the ball in that area, they got a little shuffle and then just
he looked like Maddox when he used to pitch, man. But the way that ball would just fucking drop, dude, that shit was crazy, because it looked like it was about to fly over and whoop.
Or like Sachin Tendulkar when he did play cricket. He was a fast bowler.
You know cricket like that, man?
I know him.
Word up. We have a very special Twat Happen moment brought to you this week by the one and the only
Ibracadabra, Zlatan, the man, the king of Sweden, the man who told the king of queen of Sweden to please take care of the country while he's in France. This dude signs to the LA Galaxy from Manchester United, where he's just been getting paid an exuberant amount of money for doing nothing since his last injury. And first order of business is to Zlatan.
Hell yeah. Crazy.
Full fucking page ad on LA Times. Blank page. Dear Los Angeles, you're welcome. Signed Zlatan Ibrahimovic. That's it. You know, they say Zlatan is never late for training. If he's late to training weights.
That was such an LA thing to do. It's the most appropriate way to show up in LA and announce yourself, dude. Promo, Hollywood. He's going to that. There was nowhere else that he would have went in MLS except for LA.
And the ultimate showman of football ending up in the show capital of the world was almost destined to happen. Nobody was surprised, even though it happened out of the...
That's a pivot play, dude. He knows exactly...
Yeah, he knows the move, and he knows that at this point, he's like a wrestling character. He's selling Zlatan the image more than the football player, which is a baller, don't get it wrong, but he knows how to market himself, and he's gonna...
Reality shows following soon.
I don't see Zlatan and people that close.
Yeah, no, I feel you.
You lose your luster.
True.
But he follows that up with, in the game, his debut game, he comes on as a sub. This guy's been injured for how many seasons, how many months? He came back, he's been training but hasn't played, so he came in as a late sub. Team was down 3-0, and they scored the shit out of the winning goal of the game.
2 goals, so they were down 3-2 at that point. He ties it with a crazy fucking catches it off a bounce from, like, I don't know, 10 yards outside of the box and just puts it over the goalie's head. Ridiculous, absurd goal. Please look it up if you
The
have,
reason
if you haven't
being
seen
that
it.
he didn't want to chase the ball around, so he just kicked it. He's like, I was tired. It's like been here ages since I've played, so I just
And then it's like
shot
one
it
of the-
instead of drilling.
Like one of the top 3 goals of the week.
Yeah.
Probably damn near the season.
Definitely in the MLS.
And MLS for sure, dude. There was actually some nice goals in this game.
So to his point, you're
but-
welcome.
And so, yeah, and then he ended it with the header. Done. 92nd minute. Stoppage time winner. In the LA Derby. The brand new LA Derby. LAFC versus
So
LA.
in America, is it still called Derby? Because in
know.
England, they're Derby.
The I don't know, man. I can't help myself. Like, some things just
Hold
will
on,
not come out of...
is LA, was that LAFC? Is it the team that used to be Chivas?
I'm not 100 on that. I think you might be right. I know they... You might be right about
No,
that.
because that team folded.
They did
Because
fold.
they were like based on like trying to get only like Latino cats and.
Yeah, they
no?
folded.
Okay.
Yeah, this is... I thought this was considered an expansion team, but it's owned by, like, Will Ferrell and, like, a bunch of Hollywood stars and shit. But anyway, word up, man. That's the prestigious and egregious D4G awards section.
Which actually coincided with our MLS season roundup.
Oh my God!
That
what
happened just now.
A season roundup. Like 5 games in, man. Shut up.
That's all we got.
We'll get back to them next season. Upcoming games, though, there's some big games around the world. As mentioned before, well, we got 2 derbies in Premier League. Everton hosting Liverpool.
Dead.
Manchester City hosting Manchester United, where Manchester
Season
City
dead.
can wrap up the title at Old Trafford.
Yes. I wonder if it's gonna be Sergio Aguero champion.
God, man, he'll be rested. I don't even think Pep.
Did you see Mourinho's press conference yesterday?
No, what'd he say?
We are better than the teams below us. It's like ever since we moved out of first and into second, we have held on to second. People keep talking about Liverpool. And
Exactly does that mean?
I'm like, you really chasing this?
Alrighty then. So so what? You're better than than the teams below you. I don't even know what he's saying. What is he actually saying?
I don't know, but it looked like he's chasing the shit out of the. Please give me a compliment. Like, if you're 18 points behind anybody, just shut up.
So it would be even better for me if Pep trotted out almost like a B team, because he's more worried about Champions League and they still won it.
He said there's depending on results, he very well might do that.
Yeah, I believe it. But B team still is pretty solid.
What is the B team?
Be like
Bernardo
Zinchenko.
Silva. No.
Yeah, oh yeah.
You're gonna bring in Bernardo Silva.
Sterling
probably,
might play striker.
Ilkay
Okay, Gundogan.
Gundogan will come with his big Gundogan.
John Stones, or is he injured?
So yeah, but
You pay Laporte, you pay Stones. Yeah, no, I already know.
good enough.
Danilo.
So you play Jesus because Aguero gonna play.
Yeah, all I can say is throw them. Hey, either way, no. The B team is strong. Word up, huge match. La Liga, Barcelona away to or at home to Leganes, and the Madrid derby.
Yeah,
Real Madrid hosting Atletico.
Atletico
Hopefully,
been the better team this season, but Real Madrid in good form, and Atletico never seem to fucking find a way to beat them.
sure enough, I hope they do this week.
Hope they tie each other.
That would be the best, right? Then they both drop points. Barcelona win. Serie A has a couple interesting games. Milan derby is a replay from the week that got canceled by the guy, the Fiorentina guy.
I know.
So that's Wednesday.
Story.
Yep. Yep. And I think it's worth mentioning since it is still a race, Benevento hosts Juventus and Napoli hosts Chievo.
Oh. Benevento is not in any race.
No, Benevento.
They've won their
Juventus
race.
is. Yeah, they won their race. Last place was the goal.
Yeah, like
Succeeded.
6 points in the season. So shit like that.
Yep. Bundesliga. RB Leipzig hosting Leverkusen. They are separated by 1 point. RB sitting in 4th place now, and Leverkusen in 5th place. That's pretty big. European Champions League
Yes, indeed.
battle royale.
Good luck, Leverkusen. Maybe they catch them in the, because Thursday games, Europa games are fucking rough, dude.
Yeah, that's tough to turn around and play that. Word up.
And is theirs at home?
It's at RB.
Ah.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, and they also host Marseille, so.
Yep. Oh, no doubt. Don't even have to travel. And on that note, this match is in the books. Diving for Glory, episode 32. That's what it is. As always, thanks for tuning in. We appreciate anyone who takes the time to check us out. Don't forget, Diving for Glory posts every Monday. Check us on iTunes and divingforglory.com. And now you can also find us on YouTube. Video D4G coming soon. Follow us on Twitter at Diving for Glory and Facebook as well. Follow it, hashtag it, like it. Get at us. Holla. Till next week, Porciola, Solomon.
Thank you.
Diving.
He's not a man. There's nothing more to say.
Diving.